Hello everyone. Thank you for watching this YouTube video instead of the workshop. If you registered for the workshop and you try to join that Zoom meeting, you probably have seen that it was waiting for the host. Zabbix was the host. We were also waiting for the host to start that meeting, and we kept on waiting, but yeah, apparently there was no host. So there was nothing we could do at that point other than waiting. And when someone from Zabbix showed up, unfortunately, we left already. And that actually meant that, well, the workshop was canceled. Our sincere apologies for this. We had 150 virtual machines at the ready. We have still a PDF guide, and we were absolutely ready to show you how to parse your SNMP traps within Zabbix. Unfortunately, the only thing we can do at this point is provide a YouTube video with that explanation. So what we had prepared as a premium Zabbix partner in the Netherlands, United States, United Kingdom, was a nice guide how to parse your SNMP traps. And in order to do so, we had virtual machines with CentOS Red Hat 8, MariaDB 10.6, and Zabbix 6 pre-installed at the ready. Well, as this is a YouTube video, we don't have those virtual machines for you available anymore, but of course you can just follow this guide on your own machine. It should just work. I mean, we did not special preparations or whatsoever, just a normal machine. Now, after following this guide, if you want to read more, our new book is also, well, almost released at this point. We are waiting for some copy editing, but then a fully updated Zabbix 6 cookbook is available for you. So if you want to learn more, go for it. Let's follow this guide. So step number 1, log into your machine. Well, I already did that. Step number 2, open your Zabbix server config and find start SNMP trapper. By default, it is set to 0, and we are going to change it to 1. We would like to have an SNMP trapper started. Here we have an SNMP trapper file that is pointing to var log SNMP trap snmptrap.log. So that's perfectly fine. We don't have to change anything there. And well, let's save this file. Restart the Zabbix server, system control, restart Zabbix server, and make a new directory. Why? Well, that SNMP trapper file is pointing to var log snmptrap.log. And of course, our SNMP traps should be, well, present in that directory in that case. So we started it, we restarted it, and now we have to actually restart some extra modules. Why? Well, Zabbix is only looking at this log file, and let me just install this. Zabbix is only looking at this log file, but we need something to, well, receive the traps. That's snmptrapd. So what we are going to do, install the net SNMP utilities, net SNMP Perl, and give me a few seconds to explain, and net SNMP. Within net SNMP, snmptrapd is included, and that one should be available after the installation, that is. Then we have a new configuration file. And in that configuration file, we are going to append 2 new lines. Those 2. Alt community, execute public. So if a trap is received from community public, then something should be executed. And that something should be executed is Perl do this Perl script. Well, since we are calling a Perl script here, we need this net SNMP Perl module. So that's why we installed that one as well. Of course, we need this script as well. We are receiving a trap, or SNMPtrapd is receiving a trap. and then pushing it into this script. But we don't have the script yet. Well, let's just save this and download this script. If you look at the URL git.zabbix.com, project Zabbix default repository. So it's just available made by Zabbix team. We can download it from the official Zabbix Git repository. Now, this Perl script is placed in /root. Should not be there. So we move this Perl script to user bin. And of course, if we check that Perl script, user bin Zabbix trap receiver, we can see there's a copyright by Zabbix team. It's just an official Perl script. And we have to change a little bit there. What? Well, actually only this thing. So by default, it is pointing to /temp /Zabbix_traps.temp. But as the Zabbix server is looking at var log SNMP trap, we have to make sure that this Perl script is also writing it into the correct log file, or at least the correct directory, because otherwise Zabbix won't see it. So we adjusted the SNMP trapper file, and of course restart or start snmptrapd and enable it so that after a reboot everything should be working. Okay, so far so good. Let's jump to the Zabbix front end, create a new host, create some items, and actually confirm things are working. So admin Zabbix. Here it is, one vanilla Zabbix 6 installation, where we jump to configuration host, create a new host, SNMP trap workshop, groups, a Linux server, interfaces. In order to parse SNMP traps, Zabbix is looking at that snmptrap.log file and getting out the origin IP address and trying to parse that on a host. So we know it's regarding SNMP. We know the IP address. So we need an interface, an SNMP interface with, in this case, 127.0.0.1 localhost. Whilst we are at this page, let's also set the inventory mode to automatic and save this host. Now you might think, is this in the guide? Yes, of course it is. So here it is, interface, inventory mode to automatic. And now the next step, create a new item. So back to the front end, items, create item, give the name SNMP, so capitals SNMP fallback. And well, it's in the name already. It's a fallback item. So whichever trap is received, it should be written to this fallback item. And of course, the type should be SNMP trap. I mean, we are talking only about SNMP traps here. And the key is a special one, SNMP trap.fallback. By default, Zabbix will find the most specific item for SNMP traps, but if it's not able to match on one of those specific items, it will look for the fallback item. So we change the type of information. It's not numeric, but text in this case. We add some tags, and if we look at the tags, component general, we add this item. Now this item is added. It works, but the Zabbix server daemon is not aware yet. So Zabbix config cache reload. We are forcing the Zabbix server daemon to reload its configuration cache. And that actually means that it is aware of this SNMP trap item right now. And hopefully, if we go to latest data, filter on SNMP trap host, We don't see any data yet. Why not? Well, what was part of the preparation was making a small cron job. And in this cron job, we are telling that this command should be executed. So every minute we are creating an SNMP trap. And we are actually creating two of them. One with this OID and a string ETH0 link down. One with this MIB value, sys location, with again a string Amsterdam AMS01 F5C2. So once per minute, automatically a trap should be sent. So we have to wait up to 1 minute. And well, if I keep on talking enough, then suddenly it's not waiting anymore because the trap is there. And we can see 11 seconds ago, this value came in. Well, if we click on history, we can actually see that there were two values. And here is that string, Amsterdam AMS01, ETH0 link down. Give it another minute, and again, two traps are received. We are not going to wait another minute. We are just going to create a new item. So we scroll down a little bit, we create this item. And this item is actually looking at sys location. So it's more specific. Meanwhile, I went for configuration host, found the SNMP trap workshop host, clicked on the items there, create new item. And we are going to create an item with the name system location. We are still talking about SNMP traps. And the key starts with SNMP trap, but the formatting is a little bit different here because we specify SNMP trap, square bracket, regular expression, square bracket. Now this regular expression is literally matching on the trap that came in. So whatever trap comes in, we are checking, is it matching this regular expression? If yes, parse it on this item. If no, check the next SNMP trap item. Well, we are looking for sys location here. Are we receiving numerical information? No. AMS01, whatever. So that should be a character. As it is the location, let's populate the host inventory field. I mean, we have inventory settings within Zabbix. We have enabled the inventory mode, so let's utilize it. And of course, let's find the correct inventory field. How about this one? Location. And this should be it, right? Well, yes and no. If we do this, Zabbix is perfectly fine and it will start parsing values on this item, but way too much information. We just care about that Amsterdam string part and not the rest of the trap. So we need some pre-processing. Pre-processing, add a regular expression, and we added this one in the guide. So I'm just going to copy, paste it, and we give an output of \1. Well, if we look at this regular expression, this is a capture group. And this capture group is only looking at whatever is available as syslocation string. So this capture group is getting that Amsterdam value, and we are telling Zabbix output \1, so only the values within this first capture group. That's exactly what we configured here. Let's jump back one tab because we need to add a new tag. Tag component value general, and we add this one. Now we can wait 1-2 minutes, or I'm just jumping back to the terminal, config cache reload, and it's taking a little bit less time. Well, monitoring latest data, let's again filter on at host. So 27 seconds ago, we have to wait a little bit here, but eventually it should come in. Meanwhile, I scrolled down in the guide already because The only thing that's here is about the location. I will show you in a second. To the next part where we create a value map. So let's first wait another 11 seconds just to confirm that I made no typos anywhere. Traps are coming in. And there we are. So on the SNMP trap fallback, exactly the moment I refreshed, some sort of value came in. And we can actually see here the last value that came in is Amsterdam AMS 01 F5C2. I can click on history just to confirm that only the sys location string is visible and not everything else from this trap anymore. Of course, we told Zabbix push this value into the inventory fields. So we have a few ways of checking this. We go to inventory overview, where we group by location. And we can actually see that the field location has one value, Amsterdam AMS 01. And in that value, for that value, we have exactly one host. Makes sense, we just have one host in general. So we click on that one. We can see it's about the SNMP trap workshop host in this group. And yeah, the first few fields are empty here. No worries, we can click on the host name, see the details. And there it is. The other option we have is going back into configuration host. Click on the host name, click on inventory, scroll down. We can see that the location field is grayed out. So I can type here stuff, but not here. And the main reason is this item is populating this field. Only one item can populate one field. And we can see in gray Amsterdam AMS 01. So apparently this system location received some sort of value, pushed it into the inventory field. Well, that works. Now, while we are at this page, let's go into the value mapping. In this value mapping, we are mapping values to something more readable. So interface, we just give this value map a name, interface operational state, where we tell Zabbix if the received value equals 0, map it to down. If the received value equals 1, map it to up. And this is just a value map on the host that's not yet doing anything. It's ready to be used, but it's not used yet. So we click on update. And now we have to create an item for this one. Well, you can see it here in the guide already. So we click on items, create item, give this item a name, interface ETH0, operational state, and well, type, surprise, surprise, we are talking about SNMP traps. And now the key should be a bit more significant. Well, SNMP trap, square bracket, regex again, regex, square bracket. Now this regular expression, a bit more complicated, but yeah, we have to filter and match on something. So we create a capture group where we tell Zabbix it should be linked down or link up, and only about ETH0. Trap comes in, Zabbix will parse it and push it on this item. And well, it will give that full information on that item, but actually that's not really what we are interested in. So we go into pre-processing and we would like to filter on a regular expression. So let me scroll down a little bit. This should be the regular expression. And we are actually telling Zabbix, look for link down or link up. Ignore everything in between. Look for the text string, space, everything until we find down or up. So we have two capture groups here, and the only one we are interested in is the second capture group. So that's exactly what we are telling in the output there, \2. only give back whatever is in the second capture group. Now this will give back an up or a down, but that's not really what I want because I would like to see a numeric value. So we have to replace a few things where we tell Zabbix, if you find the wording down, replace it with 0. If you find the wording up, replace it with 1. And the whole idea here is that we get back a numeric value. Numeric unsigned. Well, in Zabbix 6, in the pre-processing step, we can just apply that one here or change it over here. But if I jump back here, after these pre-processing steps, we will see a 0 or a 1. And I don't know how good you guys are memorizing these things, but I really suck at it. So I need a value map. I want my things to be readable in the front end. So we apply a value map, and that's the one we just created on this host. Well, let's finish this item because we have to add 2 new tags there. Component, network, and interface ETH0. Now you might think strange tags. Yes and no. Zabbix 6.0 comes with a new tag policy, and this is part of the new tag policy we are applying here. So I have my item. Let's reload the config cache because we have to wait a minute for those traps to come in anyway. And then let's see. So 32 seconds ago, the last value came in, and that actually means that we have to wait another 28 seconds. After 28 seconds, 2 traps are sent, one about interface ETH0 and the other one about the system location, where the system location is parsed here already. But if I configured everything correctly, I expect the trap regarding the interface ETH0 to be parsed on, well, ETH0 item. And we can actually see that's the case. Here we can also see that the value map is applied because the received value is 0, but the presented value is down 0. And the beauty of this, we have graphs. Why are graphs useful? Well, if we have textual values and we click on history, we can just see those values. If we receive numeric values and we click on graph, we can see the data coming in. And then suddenly it's a lot easier to see when an interface was up or down. So that's why we go for numeric values. Okay, let's finish this because we would like to have a trigger as well. Interface is down, so yeah, there should be a problem. Interface is expected to be up. Configuration, host, SNMP trap workshop, triggers. I click on triggers and I create a new one. Interface ETH0. Operational state is down. This is an average, and this expression is definitely not something I would like to type. So we just click on this add button where, well, we get a pop-up. We select this item. If the last value is exactly 0 down, go into the problem state. That's what we are telling Zabbix here. So I click on add. We have this trigger in place. Let's refresh the configuration so I don't have to wait 1 minute. And now, of course, we have to wait till data comes in. So we go back to monitoring latest data. Filter back on that host. 6 seconds ago, not sure how long it took me to, well, navigate to that other page. So let's just check monitoring problems. Timing was really good. Here it is, one new problem, SNMP trap workshop host, where we have problem interface ETH0 operation, including the typo, operational state is down. So we are parsing the SNMP traps. And we are creating problems out of it, if it is a problem, of course. If you want to use those traps yourself to play around, there they are. So you can just, well, copy paste this. Of course, make sure you don't have any unexpected spaces or enters in it, new lines. Copy paste it, throw it on your terminal, and start testing it. So, SNMP traps in a very short overview. Please, if you have, after this workshop, after this YouTube video, any questions, just contact us. Give us a call, send us an email, open a website, and there is a chat widget. Just let us know if you have any questions. Not only about SNMP traps, of course, but yeah, as a Zabbix partner, we are not doing anything else than Zabbix. So you can basically ask us whatever you can imagine about Zabbix, and we should be able to answer it or find an answer for you. So don't hesitate to contact us in case of any questions. And anyway, thank you for looking at this YouTube video. And again, apologies for what happened with the workshop.